The FIA GT World Cup here for the Macau GT Cup at the Macau Gear Circuit is ready to go for free practice 2. The cars are in the assembly area. Whether they are all there, we will find out very shortly. The one significant absentee, I fear, being the car that was fastest in the earlier session, because having gone quickest, Laurens Vanthoor had a huge off coming out of the right-hander of Mandarin and did a lot of damage to the car. And the fact that we've not seen him at the front of the queue rather suggests that there is a gap in the pre-grid, because they are lined up in the order of the earlier session. You've just seen the Le Mans winning Ye Yifei. This is Raffaele Marciello. They were second and third respectively. Fourth will be Adley Fong in the Audi, but I fear no Raffaele Marciello. There is the cinema roll liveried Adley Fong driven Audi. And to be fourth this morning was very good going, bearing in mind the Audi is not exactly the most recent car in the entry. David Anderson, Alan Hyde, trackside, green flag within 5 minutes as you look at the Sheldon van der Linde BMW.
You can't miss it, can you? A very striking livery for this weekend, and away for the camera as well. But really impressive. The purple and bright pink livery on that BMW really does make it stand out. And Ferraris, well, last year they had a very brief moment of glory here at Macau on the gear circuit. Is this going to be the weekend that Antonio Fuoco has a moment of glory around the gear circuit? Certainly the Ferrari looked pretty good this morning, didn't it?
Did indeed, as you look there at the surviving tempo by Absolute Racing Porsche. Alessio Picariello, GT World Challenge Europe Endurance Cup winner with Patrick Niederhauser and Sven Müller this year. That's the one that survived, but the Laurens Vanthoor Porsche is still being put back together, as you have there the Christopher Hauser Audi. Good to have Christopher here, because his programme has been somewhat limited this year. He's done the International GT Open Series. Vanthoor's Porsche very, very badly whacked about earlier on in the day, front and rear damage, and should make qualifying tomorrow, we're told, but definitely not this afternoon. Laurin Heinrich in the Schumacher CLRT Porsche, 9th in the times this morning, and Dorian Boccolacci, 10th fastest in another of the Porsches, this one out of the Phantom Global Racing stable. Dorian Boccolacci, who's raced here in Formula 3 10 years ago, but never in a GT car. 11th this morning was number 37. There it is, the Ferrari of Andy Deng Yi. And he was doing some decent lap times, certainly towards the start of the session. So a driver to keep an eye on, Andy Deng. Then you've got Joel Eriksson, who we didn't really see very much of this morning, as he was another driver adapting to a GT car around here. He was second in the Macau Grand Prix in 2018, but more recently a Formula E racer, and also has done GT World Challenge Asia. Mr. Macau, Eduardo Mortara, 10 times a race winner here, 13th this morning, but a long way down, so there's more to come certainly from the Lamborghini. 14th, Eintjes Porsche, the DTM champion, and Eintjes new to the circuit, didn't really sparkle this morning. The Turkish driver is very, very good indeed, but maybe he still is learning about the track before he finally pulls the pin. 15th this morning, Luca Engschler, winner of the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa, back after his big accident here last season, and the 16-strong entry rounded out by the Gulf liveried McLaren in the hands of Benji Goethe. So some big names and good manufacturer representation as we get set to go.
30 minutes of this session, free practice session 2 for the Macau GT Cup, FIA GT World Cup as well. It's a hugely prestigious trophy to achieve over the course of the Macau Grand Prix weekend. Engines firing up make a glorious noise even in the assembly area, don't they? You wait until they get the revs up and echo off the barriers around the 6-kilometre circuit here at Macau. It's something to enjoy, something we look forward to every year.
So with no Laurens Vanthoor, let's see how the advantage swings this time. It was Porsche, Ferrari, BMW, Audi, BMW, Ferrari, Porsche, Audi, Porsche, Porsche for your top 10 earlier on in the day. Green flag waved, it's 30 minutes on the clock, and the cars accelerate their way out of the holding area onto the circuit. The pre-grid based at random for FP1, and then it's the order of FP1 into FP2, FP2 into qualifying. Qualifying tomorrow is going to be fabulous because we've got the second part now, sort of two-lap Super Pole shootout for all the 10 fastest drivers. And you know those 10 fastest are going to be good just because the entry is so good this year.
I was just noticing a little bit of, I think it can only be described as litter, which was being kicked up and into the front of one of the cars there. You know what? It's an incredibly clean place around the gear circuit at Macau. There are a huge amount of people here in grandstands, even though it is just day 1 of 4 for the Macau Grand Prix for 2025. And the reason there is litter being blown onto the circuit is not necessarily that there's a lot of litter which has been dropped on the floor. I think it's probably been picked up out of bins. It's really quite gusty out there now. The wind has been a feature of this weekend heading into these 4 days. So don't worry, it's not become a messy place. Far from it. It's an incredibly clean place to be. But I think the weather has rather taken its toll on some of the litter bins blowing that up.
There's also quite a lot of construction work still at different places, not too far away from the circuit, so perhaps it's inevitable that little things might get scattered towards the circuit. However, as the cars turn the outlap, climb the hill, got Adley Fong's Audi almost dwarfed by the BMW's 4.5, isn't it? The much lower Audi, hidden behind Raffaele Marciello's BMW. But it was a good first session for Adley Fong in that car because, like I say, there's limited support these days from Audi Sport. It's an older car, but Adley Fong able to deliver this morning.
Really impressive, that, wasn't it? And he has a huge amount of support, not least because of the liveries that have appeared on the cars for now 3 years, with the characters, the very, very popular cartoon characters which appear on Adley's car. The fans were queuing up from early this morning to I understand there's an ordering system now. You have to put in a piece of paper with an order number to get the cars, the models, and the T-shirts and all of that. It's a huge part of this weekend.
Yeah, and it's the most remarkable thing because these are characters that don't even appear on television. They're not cartoon characters as such, are they? They're just characters.
They are characters.
Good trick if you can do it. Raffaele Marciello pits at the end of his outlap, as also does Sheldon van der Linde. This is Adley Fong then. So Cinema Roll is the character being promoted this year.
A little white dog with a tail that curls up like a cinnamon roll. I've made it quite a bit shorter now.
I'm liking that.
Is that better?
Yeah. And Adley Fong himself is improving all the while, so we'll see what the Audi can do. But whether it survives up near the pointy end, I'm slightly hesitant about, given just how competitive some of the other people are. But what he does have on his side, Alan, is lots of knowledge of Macau. He's not without dramas here. 2 years ago, he had his big accident, but he certainly knows the place.
And that was a big accident as well. We've seen some pretty mighty accidents here at Macau over the years, and that was well up with them, wasn't it? It was a very, very, very sad scene when the camera picked up the debris strewn all over the circuit. Well, he equipped himself very nicely this morning in FP1. Let's hope he can do the same in FP2 as well. It's a great looking car, great sounding car as well.
And Audi's had so much success, not only in this region, but across the world with the R8. It's been a tremendously successful GT3 car. Go back to the early days of GT3 when Audi first came into it. It was a very almost standard looking car. It's evolved over the years with the aero appendages that have grown, but still, with the right team and in the right hands, it can be a very competitive car.
And for many years it was Eduardo Mortara in an Audi here at Macau, and also it was Laurens van Thur in an Audi as well when he took his win here in 2016. This is Adley Fong heading up to the completion of a lap, and currently second position, and he's gone personal best in all of these sectors up towards sector 5 and the conclusion of the first flying lap in this session for Adley Fong.
Which he will do in the pits.
Which he will do in the pits.
Yeah. So Adley Fong bails. Antonio Fuoco carries on though, the Ferrari, and Alessio Picariello's Porsche behind him. and Picariello goes top, 2:21.061. The best time this morning was a 2:16, courtesy of Lawrence Vanthor. But Vanthor not in the session. Picariello upholding Porsche on at the minute. Christopher Hauser goes by and is 5th in the times. So Christopher Hauser here on the run down towards Lisboa. There's not much he's not won. Hasn't had a Macau victory, but he's been a German GT champion. He's been a GT4 champion, GT3 European. He was Blancpain Endurance winner, twice the Nürburgring 24-hour winner. Christopher Hauser, he's won the Spa 24 hours. He's won the International GT Open title. There aren't many people whose careers you can trace back to the Dacia Logan Cup, but Christopher Hauser is about the only one I can think of.
That's impressive. Very impressive indeed. Yeah, he's got a very rich pedigree, hasn't he? And good to have him here this year. It's a great lineup. I mean, year after year, we get really the cream of GT drivers from around the world coming here to Macau, and it's a challenge for them all. It's a driver's circuit. We say it every year, but it's a circuit that really does reward bravery and inch perfection, I think is the best way to describe it.
I mean, you made the point this morning that Lawrence Vanthor has been a winner here. Okay, he was upside down as a winner, but a winner. Well, that's another long story. And yet he's the one that crashed this morning. So however good you are, however experienced you are, the place can still bite the best.
It does, yeah. And it doesn't take prisoners either. It's a circuit that when you have a moment in a GT3 car, it's liable to be a bit of a damaging moment for the car. And that's what Lawrence found out this morning. And disappointing that that car couldn't be out this afternoon. But let's hope that the team are able to patch that back together again and make it look showroom condition by tomorrow, which I am sure they will. We've seen some incredible repair jobs over the course of a weekend, haven't we? I think we did a few years ago for Darrell Young's car, didn't we?
That's right.
And the work that the team could do overnight, getting parts shipped in overnight as well, and then we see the cars coming out almost showroom condition on the following day. Well, tomorrow is the day that counts really for the FIA GT World Cup, Macau GT Cup. And they've got a lot of time to do it as well, because they are last out on circuit. They are qualifying tomorrow at the bookend of the days, starting at 20 to 4 tomorrow afternoon. That's when Q1 gets underway.
So Alessio Picariello is the fastest, as there Raffaele Marciello's BMW goes through shot. And that's what's happening over the timing line. The Lamborghinis have got themselves together. Eduardo Mortara just ahead there of Luca Engschler. This is Marciello's view. So Lello is currently out of sequence because he made that early stop. So he hasn't really done a proper lap time as yet, as he now comes on towards the Donna Maria left-hander. Loops the car around. The other BMW of Sheldon van der Linde in the meantime is barking its way down towards the R-bend. Adderley Fong's just gone through and is having a much tougher session right now. This is van der Linde. And the BMW booms past the pits and goes fastest, 2:17.770. So Sheldon van der Linde goes quickest of all.
Got a couple of DTM champions, haven't we? Former DTM champions on the grid. Sheldon, one of them, champion in DTM in the GT3 era of DTM racing. Champion back in 2022. And Raffaele Marciello goes to the top of the times. A few times we said that here at Macau. 2:17.694. He was incredibly impressive for the Macau Grand Prix in single-seaters, in Formula 3 machinery, and from the moment he stepped into a GT car is equally impressive. 2:17.694. Raffaele Marciello goes top.
He does indeed, but is he going to stay there? No, because Alessio Picariello goes faster by 0.7 of a second. Alessio Picariello picks up the pace in the Porsche, and a 2:16.9 then puts the Belgian driver top. This, in the meantime, is Mortara coming out of the Melco hairpin. Down the hill he drops then towards Black Sands. And you can see the rear view mirror, in quotes, which is really a television screen there, showing out of the camera what's behind him. And he doesn't have to worry about what's behind him. Here it's all eyes forward, isn't it? Comes out of Fisherman's Bend, rather, down towards our bend, up to the end of the lap. This should be decent for Mortara. It's all been about personal bests. Nothing as an absolute, but he should be able to improve up the order a little. And he's about to break the beam and go through. Mortara stays 10th, even though the lap time was an improvement.
A few purple sectors coming in, and they include Raffaele Marciello, who has gone purple in the first sector. Green, so personal best in the second sector, but sector 3 a little bit more distant for Raffaele Marciello, currently in second place. Sheldon van der Linden was purple for a little while in sector 2, but that was taken away on this lap by the quickest car out there, Alessio Picariello, who is at the moment top of the times. And Alessio continues to improve, so goes purple in sector 1, purple in sector 2, and Alessio Picariello, top of the times, 2:16.967 on the previous lap. Looks like this is going to be a quick lap as well.
Sheldon van der Linden improving his time last time over the beam, but not to get the quickest time. So he's gone from 7 tenths back to 2 tenths back. The BMW, which I think, remember, Sheldon had a drama with this part of the circuit last year, goes by. Marciello top again, 2:16.915, 52 thousandths quicker than Picariello. So the Porsches coming through together. Anchin Guven in number 11, still not really delivering. Teammate Laurin Heinrich has just gone third in the other Schumacher CLRT entry, the Como-Ledergar Racing Team cars, and Picariello then accelerates behind Guven up towards the line. Let's see what Guven can do first of all, and then can Picariello take on Marciello? The answer is he can't, but Picariello improves the time. He's 11 thousandths of a second down on Marciello, and this is the view from Marciello's BMW. Quite a bit of trailing throttle going on this lap. You can tell off the engine note where he's just slightly hesitant where he commits. Let's have another listen as he heads up towards Donna Maria and then to the hairpin. Down to first gear, and then the other side of the hairpin back onto the power. Out of Fisherman's on towards our bend, and Marciello, master at work. That lap is possibly going to be an improvement as well, because it did have an absolute best and a personal best in it. That's Laurin Heinrich's Porsche just going out of shot. Yes, Marciello did go quicker again, a 2:16.820.
I find it mesmerising sitting and listening to inside Raffaele Marciello's car, because one thing that you hear so beautifully because of the engine note is the smooth application of power when you're in the car. Everything feels so smooth and silky. It's just gorgeous to sit on inside the car and listen to the engine note. Beautiful.
And Marciello is a GT master. He's yet another on the manufacturer ranks that races hypercars as well, or within the WEC in the hypercar LMDH category, but he's able to switch from one to the other with seemingly no issues whatsoever. He doesn't get pigeonholed as either a sports car or a GT driver. Sheldon van der Linden, meanwhile, is down to fourth in the times, but he's done the absolute best first sector on this lap.
And then in sectors 2 and 3, hasn't done anything particular as far as the time is concerned. So not personal best in sectors 2 or 3, but his fourth at the moment is Sheldon. He has already topped the times in this session in the BMW. Christopher Haase has got himself into 5th place, not sure we mentioned that. And Joel Eriksson, I think we've seen in his highest position so far today. He's up there in 7th, isn't he?
Yeah, going pretty nicely, racing a GT car here for the first time. So what have we got on the clock? Just about half the session still to go. Up to the line comes Sheldon van der Linde. That started well, didn't it? Absolute best sector 1, but hasn't been able to do any personal best sectors after that.
We're into the second half of this half an hour session, by the way, in FP2, and this is impressive stuff by Raffaele Marciello, as indeed you would expect it to be. A 2:16.820 in the BMW from the Porsche of Alessio Piccirillo. Lauren Heinrich in the 22 Porsche is 3rd. Sheldon van der Linde in the 31 BMW Team WRT entered car is in 4th place. Christopher Haase completes the top 5, and you're right to say that Adderley Fong is not having as impressive a session this time. A little bit more demanding, but 9th place, that's not bad.
No, it's all right. The real disappointment, I've got to say at the minute, are the Lamborghinis, because Mortara and Engschler are 13th and 14th and not doing very much at all. Out of the first session, the only naughtiness, if you like, was Laurin Heinrich, who was caught speeding in the pit lane by 1 kilometre an hour. He did 51, not 50 kph, so he was fined €50 for his pains. But as Benjamin Goether's McLaren 12th quickest comes towards our bend, I can imagine one or two conversations happening with the technical team about the BOP of the Lamborghinis overnight, because they are really struggling.
Andy Deng with a overall best sector on that last lap. I think that's the first time we've seen that so far today. Deng Yi. That
was brave by Ye Yifei. Admittedly, Dorian Boccolacci got out of his way, but even so, barely with for 2 cars. But Yifei is on a mission, and he needs to be, because Ye is only 15th.
Have to be brave in traffic for the Le Mans 24-hour race, don't you?
Yeah. There is that. So the Chinese driver has caught up to the BMW ahead. So we've not really seen a proper flying lap out of Ye Yifei. The notional lap time is 7.5 minutes, which clearly includes a pit stop. So here he is. He's got past van der Linde, comes out of Fisherman's. The apartment blocks towering over the circuit. You've got the water on the left-hand side, so you turn right, you go through our bend up towards the timing line, and as he breaks the beam, Ye Yifei is going to improve, surely. Yes, he does, and he gets up to 9th fastest.
Yep, good lap that, and we saw the final end of that lap for Ye Yifei, improving on every single sector on that last lap. Good enough to go 9th. 11 minutes and 20 seconds of this session remain. Raffaele Marciello in pit lane, car number 53, top of the times at the moment. Former winner in the GT World Cup here at Macau in 2023. And always impressive is Raffaele Marciello.
That's Luca Engschler, who is 15th, which effectively is last, because there's no 16th car of Laurent Vanthor in the session. So Luca Engschler really not going anywhere near as well as anticipated, nor is Eduardo Mortara. But Engschler, I can't believe it's a reticence about the circuit. Yes, he had his big crash here last year, but he's been so good in international GT racing this season. I'm really surprised that Engschler is not doing better, so I can only assume it's something car BOP related, because you've got both of the Lamborghinis mired slowest and penultimate. Big
question mark over those 2 cars. And Ye Yifei continues on his way, doesn't he? Because he's gone personal best in sector 1, personal best in sector 3, and overall best purple sector in sector 2 as well. So this is going to be another interesting lap to watch for the 83 car. The Harmony Racing entered Ferrari 296.
Luca Engstler goes quicker, but stays slowest, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Get the car off the bottom at all. This is Yeye. You said he was pressing on, and he is. And with 3 PBs and an AB, 3 personal bests and 1 absolute best, is this going to put Yeye up towards the notional front row? I know it's not qualifying, but could we get him into the top 2? Anything at the moment in the 216s brings him into the mix. Marciello from Laurin Heinrich, who's gone second. I don't think we mentioned that. And Yeye comes to the pit lane. So after all that,
what a shame.
Well, that's curious as to doing that.
Yeah.
That screams BOP to me. The team saying, don't show your hand because you've done so many good sectors, but let's not see what the lap time is. We now know the car's good in every sector. Now pit.
A purple sector is one to be watched,
yeah.
And that was a purple sector in sector 2.
But to call the car in on such a lap has got to be with intent.
Right, yeah.
Don't show the true pace.
Don't show your hand.
No.
Yeah.
Hey ho. Shame, because it would have been fascinating to see what the lap was. Here is Andy Dang. I think he's been one of the stars of the 2 sessions because he comes here with a very modest CV against the factory hitters, and yet he's 7th fastest, and he's keeping out of trouble, and he's going very, very nicely indeed. And this car has been competitive all day long. This last lap that he's done has had a personal best sector in it. It wasn't an improved lap time, but it didn't miss out by much.
Going really well. 7th place currently. 1 personal best sector on the previous lap for Andy Deng, car number 37. 7th place, Raffaele Marciello has left pit lane now, so he's on his way back out onto the circuit. And it's still Laurin Heinrich who is second in car number 22, the gold of the 2 Schumacher CLRT Porsche 911s. Currently second quickest, and Alessio Picariello in car 911, 3rd quickest, and has just put in a personal best in sector 1. Under 8 minutes of this session remaining, 7 minutes and 38 to be exact. And one to watch, I think, on this lap is going to be Picariello in the 911 car.
Yeah, the surviving tempo car, and Picariello a personal and an absolute best in sectors 1 and 2. You're looking at the Lamborghini here of Luca Engstler that is improving steadily, but still is the slowest car. Picariello's in sector 3 at the moment and ought to be on for a good improvement come the end of the lap. Here is Picariello then. The Porsche looks enormous, doesn't it? You think about how a 911 looked in the 1960s. The shape has always, of course, remained faithful for 911s. They've got bigger as road cars, and boy, they got bigger as race cars with the flared arches, that massive rear wing with the swan's neck fitting to help the aero, and up towards Donna Maria comes Alessio Picariello with another absolute best sector. It's 2 out of 3 absolutes and 1 extra personal best.
2 more sectors to go for Picariello, and threads the car around. You see just how difficult it is to get the car around the Melco hairpin, and how perfect you have to be. And it was perfect. Goes purple again. So overall best in sectors 2, 3 and 4. And it would take a brave person to bet against this being a new overall best lap time around the gear circuit here at Macau. Up towards the line comes Alessio Picariello. 3 overall best, 1 personal best, and 1 sector to go, which gets completed anytime now. Across the line he goes, and goes top with 3 purple sectors, 2:16, 1:96.
And he's quicker by 0.6 of a second. That's a big margin. So Picariello from Marciello. Alessio Picariello still, to a degree, a little bit underrated. He's done the bulk of his racing over in Asia, and in the last couple of seasons has gone back into racing in Europe. He's become very much part of the Porsche roster, as I say, endurance champion in GT World Challenge Europe this year, and that's a good lap to be 0.6 quicker than Raffaele Marciello at a circuit that Lello has done so well at in the past. That is quite something. Dorian Boccolacci's Porsche just going out of shot as we wait for the next car to dive into view. And there is Dorian Boccolacci. Came into the GT arena through Carrera Cup France, of which he was a champion. Picariello's not given up yet. He's done another personal best, followed by an absolute, sectors 1 and 2. Engstler for the pits. This is Boccolacci. And this is a modest lap by Dorian because the sectors aren't improved at all.
currently down there in 10th place, but interesting that Picariello is still going and still improving, so has gone overall best in Sector 2 with a personal best in Sector 1, and I think the overall best in Sector 2 and 3 were both his own anyway. So in Sector 2 goes purple, in Sector 3 goes purple. He's already got the best lap of this session, 2:16.196 on Sector 4 now.
So Marciello responding with an absolute best in Sector 1. This is Ian Shinguven, who has got himself up to 8th and has done 2 personal bests on this lap. As Alan touched on, the Schumacher CLRT team has a gold and a silver Porsche. It's a novel way of team orders, isn't it? If you're given the silver one, you know where you stand against the gold one. Anyway, Ian Shinguven comes up towards the line, and let's see whether it's going to be an improvement for the Turkish driver. It is. He goes 6th, quickest then, Ian Shinguven. I think the first session was all about mileage, wasn't it, and learning, and now he's got a bit of confidence. The Macau debutant going much, much better. Alessio Picariello, however, has not improved in Sector 4, so he's dropped a little bit of time. He's up against the wall. He's about to break the beam, and Picariello goes through quicker still in the 15s, 2:15.966. Alessio Picariello is on a mission.
Absolutely superb.
Now, Marciello needs to find just over 8/10 of a second. That's not easy, but he also is on a mission. Absolute best, personal best, personal best. 3 sectors done, 2 to go. Marciello second in the times.
Certainly is, and Raffaele Marciello currently second in the 53 car. It's the BMW, and heading up towards the end of Sector 4. You know, you're talking about the silver car and the gold car. I'm not sure it's silver, I think it might be platinum.
Ah, okay.
There you go. I only just realised that.
We need a third car to find out. If that's bronze, then we know.
Yes, we do.
Marciello, in the meantime, has done another personal best. If it's not quickest, it's going to be close, this. So Raffaele Marciello, who raced for BMW last year, having moved from Mercedes AMG. Remember, his last Mercedes outing was with a win here 2 years back. He's about to break the beam. Marciello goes through, stays second, but he's got the gap down to just over a 10th.
Not yet into the 2:15s. 2:15.966 for Alessio Picariello, and we've got 2.5 minutes just under of this session remaining. And looking by the car, looking the way that it's skipping and bouncing, I think Raffaele Marciello is still absolutely on it. He has been in the first sector purple so many times today, and this time is not. So let's have a look and see what Raffaele Marciello does on Sector 2. Up San Francisco Hill he goes.
Pursued by Adley Fong. And the Cinema Roll Audi in this session is 12th.
Sheldon van der Linde, another one to watch, actually.
Yeah, who went 3rd last time. Ian Shinguven is up to 4th. This is Joel Eriksson. So 10th for the Audi. And 1.5 minutes to go. Could this be our first session without a stoppage? It could be the first one of the day. Could be.
Fingers crossed, touching wood and doing all of those superstitious things that we'd like to do, because it would be great to get all the way through the session without adding to our tally of 12 red flags in day 1 of the Macau Grand Prix for the 72nd running of the Macau Grand Prix. Sheldon van der Linde has gone personal best in Sector 2, overall best with a 23 dead in Sector 1. Historically, you know, the BMWs have always been really, really good in Sector 1.
Yeah, which is where I think they can use the grunt and go. A bit like the Mercedes always used to be. They're good on the power part of the circuit, whereas others perhaps are slightly better suited to the mountain section, the mountain course, with the nimbleness, the handling. What the BOP tries to do is balance that across the lap for everybody. Over the line then goes the Audi of Joel Eriksson, up to 8th, ahead of his teammate Christopher Haase now. So the 2 Audis there do a switch. The other one of Adley Fong is down in 12th in the times.
Picariello has not given up, by the way. He's just put in purple in Sector 2.
And Sheldon van der Linde has not given up. Because he has done an absolute best in Sector 1. Again, going back to Alan's point about the BMW and where it works. And then 2 personal bests. So this is van der Linde up towards the timing line. Sector 4 wasn't an improvement, so he's dropped a little bit of time there. But Sheldon van der Linde, the South African driver, comes across the line now to take the checkered flag. and is slightly slower, so actually unravelled a bit towards the end. So the one we need to get across the line is Picariello, and he's in sector 4, but he's dropped time in sector 3. So here is the charging Laurin Heinrich. He's taken the flag and he is 5th. That's Picariello at Melco Hairpin in the blue Porsche, the two-tone blue 911, who now threads his way down through black sands.
Van der Linde once again goes purple in sector 1. It's a lap after lap after lap that the BMW goes quicker in sector 1.
I think he must have just got through by the skin of his teeth for another lap. Yeah,
just.
So very marginal, but he just did it. So this is Picariello who goes for the pit lane.
Oh, by the way, you can say a whole session without a red flag. Checker flag's gone out. There we go. Well done.
The first 0 writ on our tally of red flags. Good job the Macau Grand Prix Media Centre gives you a notebook, because we'll need another one if it carries on like this for tomorrow. But the GT teams have done us proud and got through without drama.
Which we had for the race last year, didn't we?
Yeah. I seem to remember it was a safety car start because of the wet conditions.
It was,
but when they got going, boy, what a race. And,
stunning.
Raffaele Marciello, you're riding with him, was one of the drivers involved last year, and he's not on a quick lap. He's already committed to coming into the pit lane, so he's just bringing the car back. But quite often you'll find drivers do come back at a fair pace, because as soon as they're in the pit lane, they've brought back relevant tyre data with temperature in. So it's sometimes worth a quick in-lap rather than a slow one.
What a mouth-watering prospect for qualifying tomorrow, because not only did we have a fascinating story evolving at the front of the field with Picariello, Marciello, Van der Linde, all exchanging sort of overall best sectors, but also we didn't have Lawrence Van Thor, who was quickest this morning. Didn't have him in that session, so much to look forward to for qualifying.
And Q2, where it's the 2 laps, effectively 1 car at a time. Can I ring in sick tomorrow and go and stand and watch it out on the circuit? I think it's going to be epic. Down the pit lane they come then. Alessio Picariello, the fastest from Raffaele Marciello, Sheldon Van der Linde, and then 4th quickest, Ian Schenguven. So that means it's Porsche, BMW, Porsche, Ferrari. Yay, if they did get to 6th in the end. Audi 7th, Christopher Haase. Ferrari 8th, Antonio Fuoco. Not seen the best of him yet. 9th Audi, Joel Eriksson. 10th Porsche, Dorian Boccolacci. So the order at the end of the session, Alessio Picariello by 0.173 of a second is fastest. Raffaele Marciello 2nd. Sheldon Van der Linde 3rd. Then Ian Schenguven from teammate Laurin Heinrich. Yeife 6th ahead of Christopher Haase, Antonio Fuoco, Joel Eriksson. And to round out the top 10, Dorian Boccolacci. Andy Deng 11th, Adelaide Fong 12th ahead of Benjamin Goethe. And then Luca Engschler with Edo Mortara slowest. How many times have we been able to say Edo Mortara slowest at Macau? Mr. Macau, he's got his own waxwork in the museum, but slowest, really struggling today. And Lawrence Van Thor with a battered car, not out on track. But his teammate, Alessio Picariello, is the pick of the bunch in FP2.